Cecile Austin is the owner of C&H Insurance, LLC, with more than 14 years of experience in commercial, personal, and life insurance. A Navy veteran with advanced degrees in business, accountancy, and computer science. He helps businesses protect and grow through a consultative, education-focused approach. Cecile Austin.
Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, as I was introduced, my name is Cecil Austin. I'm the owner of C&H Insurance out of Rockville, Connecticut. As I said, I've been in business for 10 years now. I'm going to take this time today to talk to you, to talk to everyone here about what you're going to need, or what anyone will need in starting a business from insurance, with their insurance. What are they going to need for their insurance for their business? Now, we're going to have can you hear me? Everyone can hear me? So, the discussion is really going to be about, one, what does insurance actually provide for you? Two, what types of coverages you may need from a business perspective. And then three, which I think is most important, the kind of discussion that you need to have with an agent like me or a broker when you're actually gone through the process, decided that you need insurance and made a decision to do it. Now you need to have a discussion with a professional to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. All right? So we'll start off with one question that I'd like to ask. First, how many of you in here, with a raise of your hand, just so I can get an understanding, how many of you actually own a business right now? Okay, so that's pretty much the whole room. Okay? Now, I want you to listen very closely to this question. How many of you can operate your business without income? How many of you can operate your business without an income? Any income. There is no business that can operate without an income, right? And that's one of the things that insurance is going to help you cover. It's going to help you cover your income. It's going to help you cover your properties. It may help you cover your day-to-day operations. It's going to help you cover your people. And it's going to help protect you from your people. Now, I know, and when I say about people, I'm talking about your employees. And I'm even talking about your contractors. Now, you may appreciate everything that they do for the business and you love them and care for them, but they are your biggest liability. Because if something happens to them, they're representing you as a business owner, right? And if you don't protect them correctly, they will come for you as well. All right? So we're going to talk a little bit now about, I know we have 7 minutes. I'm going to try to get as much as we can in with 7 minutes, right? So we can open up for any questions. So, types of coverages that you're going to need, right? How many of you who own a business, which is most of you, know that you have general liability as an option on your covered insurance policy, right? Now, how many of you actually know what general liability actually is? Okay, not as many as the first, right? So, as Bruce was saying, you heard the conversation, a lot of talk about liability. What I try to do is try to make you understand things. So, when you hear liability, what you should think of, and I hope you can make it easier for you, is think you messed up, right? There's a situation where either you messed up or somebody thinks you messed up, right? So when you get insurance, from a liability standpoint, on a commercial side, commercial liability, because that's what we're talking about today, the insurance company will protect you or provide defense even if the claim that is brought before you is frivolous, meaning that someone just made something up and they're coming after you something and you were not liable. The insurance company will still provide defense for you at no additional cost. That alone at times is worth the cost of the policy, right? But liability is just one part that insurance will cover for you. You also have options like cyber liability, which is again liability. You messed up, right? So if you hear liability from this point on forward, when you're talking about insurance, you should know the first thing that comes to your head is you messed up. All right?
Or they think
Or somebody thinks you messed up, right? So you've got liability on the professional side. You also want to protect your property. When I say property, I don't just mean you own a building. You may not own a building, but you definitely have tools, you have equipment that you may need to operate your business. These are things that you need to protect from an insurance standpoint, right? And this is another thing that the coverage is going to provide for you, right? And then we get into workers' comp, right? Again, those pesky employees, right? These are the ones that are representing you on a daily basis. Now you may think, well, I'm a small business, I don't have any employees, I deal with a lot of contractors. But I will tell you this, if you don't ensure that your contractors that you work with also have the proper coverage like workers' comp or general liability, they're coming for you, okay? And you want to make sure, don't just go to the extent that they come off, they give you a piece of paper that says, yeah, I'm good with insurance. Yeah, you make sure that they come back to you with something showing that you're also on their policy as additional insured. So it protects you as well as them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and who's going to test this after? You know, I got a lawyer here, so I can't lie. All right, so these are the sort of the things that you have to consider from an insurance standpoint. So now the last part of the discussion, right? The conversation, right? When you talk to someone like me, what you want to make sure that you come out of that conversation with is that you have a better understanding of your policy. I don't expect anyone that I talk to know insurance after we talk, like 100%. But what I do expect them to know is what they're getting themselves into. Because you are signing a contract. And that contract is going to state specifically what it offers and what it doesn't. So for example, if we all have car insurance here, right? We all drove here. For those of you who took a bus, I'm sorry. But if you drive and you hit somebody in the back, you got a deductible on your insurance or something, right? Now, if the damage is $1,000 and your deductible is $1,000, do you need to put the claim in? Guess what? You're going to pay the $1,000 regardless. So, something to think about. And that's where the discussions sort of come in, to help you understand what you're getting yourself into. So, the takeaways from today. 1, liability. You messed up. Or somebody thinks you messed up. Number 2, your employees. You're protecting them, but you're also protecting yourself from them, right? And number 3, you want to make sure during that discussion that you have when you're going to push the button on the policy, that you have an understanding of what you're getting yourself into and what you have coverage for or don't have coverage for. Hope that helps.
Do you have any questions on liability insurance for Cecile?
I do. I have one question.
Oh, yeah.
So, can you talk a little bit about?
One second. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have policies for my contractors because I don't trust them to like do the full coverage just because of the nature of my business.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that with early stage folks when they're hiring contractors? I think a lot of them overlook the fact that like any little thing can affect their business and their reputation and cost. And I did this mostly because I just thought it was a blanket policy to just cover myself.
Right.
But I often see that people just overlook this part because they're like, well, they're relying on the contractors. And the risk of not doing both. So if you have a feedback.
Yeah. Would you mind turning this on?
Absolutely. 1, 2.
All right. That is unbelievable. Okay. So yeah, to answer your question, 1, yeah, a lot of people sort of push the responsibility of insurance for the contractor to the contractor, right? So, and they don't quite understand that if that contractor does not have the proper insurance in place, they will come back to them, right? They can say, they can say everything that they want. Oh, I've got insurance. Oh, I can do the job. I know 100%. What you want to do as a new business owner is get a certificate of insurance that states you on the policy as additional insured on that policy. So what that means is, if they do something wrong, you have a level of protection. I'll even take it a step further. It's a waiver of subrogation. Have any of you ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
Okay. Waiver of subrogation means your insurance company can't come after me. You leave it right where it is. And that's what you want as a small business, well, especially as a small business owner, I think, because you're more vulnerable, right? But I'm stopping saying small business owners, and I'm start talking about growing business owners, right? So you want to make sure that that level of protection is in place. So you have them give you a certificate. Now, I will say this, how many of you from New York? Okay, now New York is known, I am from Brooklyn. New York is known for fake certificates, right? So if you get a certificate, there is a name of the broker that should be on there. There should be a telephone number. There's going to be a list of the policy number and the insurance carrier that they work with. Do some due diligence. Call the numbers on the certificate. Make sure that you know that the people that they have on that certificate are actually real. If you can't get anyone on that end from the broker standpoint, call the insurance carrier. Say, I just got a certificate. Here's a policy number. Is this real? Do your due diligence, because when it comes down to it, and I'll give you an example. A guy has a company, has a 1099 contractor. He has him doing work on a building outside. Guy has a ladder. Guy steps off into air, goes straight to the ground. Says he has insurance, 1099 contractor. Come to find out, he has absolutely no insurance. First place he goes back to is the owner and says, okay, my medical bills are piling up, I need to pay this, so he's got to get the money from somewhere. So client's got to say, as bad as it is, that really isn't my problem, because it really isn't. As a 1099 employee, or you have your own business, you should have your own insurance, but they will come after you. And just like I mentioned earlier, the insurance company will provide defense for a frivolous claim. So at least there, you're also protected. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, no,
Oh, just for the room.
yeah,
I appreciate it.
I
Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah.
You're all taken care of, so we can't be friends. But
Let me make one more point about that question. You should not be carrying the cost of insurance for your contractors. And that is the other underlying thing that he mentioned. And if you ever find any of those fraudulent documents, you can report them to the insurance commissioner in the state. That case that he just outlined, I'm a special master, which means I handle mediation for appeals. It's sort of a side gig in New York for the appellate division. And I've had that case for that guy who fell off that ladder. And they sued you, contractor, subcontractor, building owner, anyone that they can find. So you have a multi-party lawsuit for everyone who's involved, seeking joint several liability for that guy who fell off that ladder.